It has been a while since I make a video, and there's been so much that has happened. I can talk about so many things from the past year of my life, from plant medicine, sexuality, tantra, relationships, polyamory, what's going on in the collective, intuition, emotions, manifesting, the path, knowing what to do. There's so many topics, and as I was sort of brainstorming where to start, I think there's two themes that I think are like, I just would love to like nail down with people, and then we can go wherever you want from there. These two are, there's nothing wrong with you and you're not crazy. And there's nothing wrong with you is so core to so many issues that it's just so core to like everything that's going on in this world, what we're feeling inside, our dysfunction, our self-doubt, our some of our behaviors. It's all sort of stemming from there's something wrong. There's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with this person, there's something wrong with the situation. And how can I say there's nothing wrong? How could I say that when people are in physical pain? How can I say that when people are going through situations? How can I say that when there's discord in your body, when you're breaking out, when your body, when your emotion, when your brain is like wherever it is? I can say that because what I want to point out is your body, your mind, everything that's happening is normal and is actually very natural given the scenario, the situation, and the state and the society that we live in. And that's something to like sit with, because I know I've spent maybe a decade, maybe more, trying to figure out what's wrong with me and trying to fix myself. And I'm finally at a place, I'm even like moving my body, I'm so in my body now these days, but I'm now at a place where when unwanted emotion, I was gonna say negative, but it's really like unwanted, not, I don't want these emotions to be with me from, the majority of the time, but when these unwanted emotions arise, there's signals, there's messages coming through, there's something not wrong with me because I have this thing arising. Woo! Delicious. That's a good example. Was that sneeze, oh, there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with my nose, is there something wrong with what I just said? If you believe in that kind of stuff. No, I think would be clear, right, to you. There's nothing wrong, but there is something there. Whether it's in the air or whether my body was just needing to process or release something energetically that I was maybe holding in. And then with that statement, it was able to expel it. I mean, again, like we depending on how woo-woo you are, right? Or whatever, maybe it's like we can stick to the scientific, like there's something in the air that tickled my nose and thus there is a release. And what we do whenever we experience that, so let's say right now I get a wave of anxiety, which is probably one of the most common things that are going on in our world, or rage. There's something in there. Most of us are kind of fixing it like, let's fix the rage, let's fix the depression, let's fix the anxiety. And what we're not looking at is that's not the problem. There's nothing wrong with you feeling that. It's what's causing that you are responding in such a way that you call it anxiety or whatever it is. And many times if we are able to realize, wait, my body is giving me a signal, and honoring it and not being afraid, I think that's like step one. And I could go into themes of like acceptance and acknowledgement and owning all parts of you, but it's like most people don't even want to talk about that because they're afraid that if they look deep enough, they're going to find an extremely flawed or maybe evil person beneath it all that's just unfixable and unlovable and potentially unworthy. And I think knowing that these, like, if I can tell you, if you could potentially even just contemplate that maybe whatever is going on is not that something's wrong with you, there might be something else. I hope that gives each one of you the courage to look at look under the hood. And what I've found time and time again is we have reasons to be the way we are. I was just working with a client that is finally in a relationship that she considers healthy. I don't know the details, that's what I'm saying she considers. At least better than previous relationships, and she's having trust issues. So she's like, what's wrong with me? I can't trust this person. I don't actually believe this and that. And once we dug in, it's like, oh, that makes sense that you would behave this way because from the age of 9, you have felt tricked and lied to. And so you have this protection mechanism that results in you behaving, psychoanalyzing, creating kind of distance between you and humans that then results in lack of connection, lack of intimacy, lack of happiness. And so just knowing that whatever is in you is not that something like is actually very natural given what has happened, given your past, given all of that, is really number one. And I think that also helps all of us take full ownership. Like, yeah, whatever happened could be totally out of your control. There also does, like, I think it also helps us balance how we approach our whatever it is that's arising, so we don't go into victim or persecutor or guilt, but we say, okay, this is natural given what is, but now what do I want to be true for me? So I can keep going there. I really want to keep these like concise and just kind of bits to contemplate. The other one, you're not crazy, is I just want to call out, acknowledge, and this is the part where we get a little bit beyond what beyond what we can physically, beyond the 5 senses. This is really what I've been tuning into as far as like the collective, and there are some big changes happening. There is sort of an awakening. Of course, this has been happening for a long time, but it's been accelerating as well. And so we are at, kind of an exponential point. And I think for everybody, for most people who haven't really been on this path and now are getting kind of swept in because of the momentum of what's happening and the awakening, I think many people are feeling like, am I completely out of my mind? What is going on? And I just want to say you're not crazy. And what's happening is our collective, our consciousness is getting to a place where our society, our structures, our systems just don't make sense anymore. And so if you're feeling like none of this makes sense, you're just, that's normal. That's normal. That's natural. And so what will happen, what is happening, what will continue to happen is breaking down of systems and recreating and the rising of new systems and new methods and new ways of operating that are in alignment with the higher consciousness that we're stepping into. And I think this can be a very beautiful thing, depending on how we lean into it, how we bring others into it, and whether, like, really how graceful we are with ourselves. In all of the contemplation that I've done, all the conversations, all the experiences, it really comes down to whatever discord is out there. How is it living within my body? How am I harmonizing within my own inner feminine, inner masculine, inner perpetrator, inner victim, inner conservative, inner liberal, inner, like all of these opposites that we think of, and we always say it's out there. There's always a part of us that's in here. So even that person that you absolutely despise, there is an inner mini one right inside of you, and it's like, can you come into harmony in that? Can you come and find love or acceptance or curiosity or interest? And if this is a little bit far-fetched, what I'm speaking of is, say you, there's this person at work, oh, they're so lazy, they're entitled, they're bossy, they're dictator, whatever it is you think. The reason why you hate that in them is because there's a part of you within yourself that actually is that you haven't fully integrated and accepted. And that's why they irk you. Because think about the person who maybe irritates everybody else but doesn't irritate you. What is it about that person? Let's say it's somebody, what would it be? Maybe someone who's very beautiful or has a certain body, or maybe is a certain way, whatever. For whatever reason, it bothers some people and it doesn't bother you. That's because you're fully embraced and integrated and celebrating that part of you. You celebrate the part of you that has a lot of discipline or structure. I don't know, that's just an example. Whatever it is. So ultimately, it is all within what's happening within you, and also your closest relationships. They are all a reflection of the collective. And so just calling in, there is a lot going on out there, but really calling forth awareness in what is within me and how can I bring harmony within myself, and then just reaching out one person out, my partner, my parents, my kids, my coworker, whatever, whoever it is that you're spending time with. How do I create harmony between these relationships? And until I can do that, that's why we have kind of the collective consent for the chaos that's happening, because there's chaos here, or there's fragmentation here. So just starting there, and please let me know in the comments what you want me to talk about. I would love to do Q&A, honestly. Like, that gives me like some juice, like what's going on. I want to hear like full-on stories from people. I'm gonna leave my email below. Actually, if you can write to me like a whole situation, what's going on, I'd be happy to help you through that, help you parse it out, and give you my 2 cents. And I know things like that really help other people, because we all can relate whenever we get really specific like that. So sending love. I'm so happy to finally be doing it.